All right, are we live? All right. How we doing? Who do we have so far? Um, all right, I think I'm just going to get started as people come on. Since this is recording, I'm Kurt Sauer. I'm the writer of a comic book called Spectress and Sabanion. Spectress and Sabanion is a supernatural uh, horror hero story. Spectress is the ghost of Cleopatra's top assassin. You see her story in the opening pages of issue number one, and she has lived as a ghost ever since she died defending Cleopatra against the Romans when the Romans invaded Egypt uh, back in the quite a while ago, obviously, in the Hellenistic time period. Um, but she's lived so long, she's learned to kind of rejoin the world of the living again. She's learned to make herself look solid, change the way light passes through her spirit. She's learned to kind of be able to move things, although not in a way that human beings can manipulate things. But she's basically learned enough to feel that she's ready to rejoin the world of the living and find purpose. That's what we all want, right? And if you've lived for so long, kind of in the outskirts of society, um, and so she feels she's ready now. She feels she's ready to rejoin the world of the living. The catch is her existence is intertwined with a demon named Sabanion. He is a whirling, burning engine of destruction. He is a wrath demon, basically one of the demons created to punish a certain one of the seven deadly sins. So as a wrath demon, he has some anger issues, as well as it's kind of his task to punish the wrathful. So in the opening part of the story, she needs to free him from a containment facility for supernatural threats called Confact 4. And uh, in order to start her life, uh, I don't want to reveal too much, obviously, but basically, she feels she's at the point in her existence. She's created an alter ego for herself. Rasha Rashed is a personality, a identity she's created, and she wants to become a professor of archaeology at Tricameron University. And that's expounded on a little bit more in issue 0, the preview issue. Oh, we've got somebody on here. Hey, Jessica, what's going on? Yeah, you talk about Sabanion? Yeah, he does. He does have a good sense of humor. Um, he's a demon, and he kind of enjoys doing what he does. He enjoys being himself, and um, and of course that's something that Spectress needs to deal with as she um, makes her push back into the world of the living. So, um, can she do it? She feels she's ready. She has a plan. She feels she's ready to make it happen. She's ready to push into the world of the living and she has a plan for Sabanion as well, and that gets touched on as we get further into the series. Um, but in issue 1, which is currently on Kickstarter, uh, actually, I think I can share my screen here. Let's try that. No, let's not try that. Okay, so just go on to Kickstarter, and you can search for the word Spectress, just like Spectre with 2 S's on the end, and you'll find it. You could also search for my name, Kurt Zauer, Zauer, and you'll find Spectress and Sabanion. So So basically, in that first issue, she breaks him out of the containment facility 4, or initiates the breakout, basically. But there's another catch in that she kind of has feelings for the captain of the guard, so to speak, the head of security at the containment facility. He, his name is Sorensen. All the team calls him Sorn. He's kind of a special forces tough guy. He has a few emotional scars from his deployments over the past, 10 years. And he worked at Containment Facility 4 when he was younger. He thought it was weird, and because he worked on the Moon Crew. The Moon Crew is the team of security people that patrol the prison on nights of the full moon. Nights of the full moon are kind of when the weird things happen. Somebody on the team always blacks out, and they wake up with a big gash or a scar, they wake up bleeding, basically, from a pretty nasty cut, and nobody really knows why. But that's part of the mystery of how Spectress and Sabanion are linked, and why their fates are bound together. So, and feel free to ask any questions. It looks like we got a couple people on already. That's cool. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. So that's the opening part of the story. There are other people on the Moon Crew. They all have scars. It's funny because in my story, the good guys have the scars because over the past few years, one of them randomly gets picked. They black out. They wake up with a cut, and and that's another scar. But it's also a bonus in their check. So over the years, the peril, the mystery and the peril of what's going on there kind of becomes routine. And on the night that the comic book opens, issue number 1 is when that routine stops and the bad things start. So, and again, the catch is that Spectress, her Egyptian name is Anexi. Anexi has feelings for the head of the security team there, Sorensen. And so she wants the escape to go down with as little violence as possible. And, well, needless to say, that doesn't always work out. So, but that's the opening part of issue number 1. You get to learn the story of Anexi, the story of Sorensen and the Moon Crew, and a little bit of Sabanion, and she starts their jailbreak from Containment Facility 4, Confact 4, and she works her way through the prison, and the Moon Crew is there, and they have to deal with what goes on. All right. Anybody have any questions so far? Let's see here. I would like to share my screen. But anyway, let's talk about the Kickstarter. Unless anybody on has a question, anything they want to ask. But the Kickstarter, basically, it started June 2nd. It goes through July 3rd. We're sitting at about 98% funded right now. So we're looking good. I know we're going to fund. It's going to be cool. It's going to work out. But I've got a number of stretch goals that I want to hit. I've got stickers and cool stuff that I want to give to the backers. We've already hit 2 milestones. Oh, Confact. Okay. Yeah, Confact, containment facility. That's some military jargon. I'm a National Guardsman. I'm a military guy. We abbreviate everything. Confact is how a military person would say containment facility. So yeah, we're sitting at 98%. I've got some cool, we've already hit 2 milestone bonuses. some free digital comics for whoever backs the Kickstarter. And we have still quite a bit of original art. We've got 10 pieces by the artist Topper Helmers. He's done a number of individual numbered sketches, 1 through 10 on Nexi. They're all of Nexi, the Spectress, of her when she was alive in ancient Egypt, when she was Cleopatra's top hitter. And they're pretty awesome. I might, say one of those for myself, see what I can work out with Topper. But those are on Pinterest. You can look up Spectress and Sabanion on Pinterest, and that will show you the 10 sketches that are available. One of them is sold, so 9 of them are up for sale still on Kickstarter. Those are $120 a piece. There's also for the Kickstarter, I introduced a new cover by Chris Enot. He's fabulous. He's just a phenomenal artist. He's done a lot of the big titles, Xenoscope titles, Lady Death. He's done stuff for Star Wars and Disney, and he's a really talented guy. His original inks and pencils are available up there too. Obviously, they're original, one of a kind. Once they get picked up, they're gone. And there are we have stretch goals. We're about, the first stretch goal is 2250, so we're not far away, but not so close either. You get a title sticker, Spectress and Sabanion sticker. After that, you get another digital comic called the Red 10, which is a continuation of the milestone digital bonus that we've already given out, and we hit the 75% funded mark. After that is a Moon Crew sticker, the Moon Crew emblem that they wear on their shoulder. It's really cool. It's at the phases of the moon, and Moon Crew Contact 4 on the bottom. Really cool sticker. And we also have pins that are available with the Moon Crew collection as a Kickstarter tier. Then we also have a bookmark, Spectress bookmark with my KG Comics logo. KG Comics is the publisher that I work for. It's my LLC. It's a company of one. You're looking at them. You're looking at KG Comics. And last but not least, we're going to get a UV cover. I've been talking with the guy at Comic Impressions, and he took a look at the cover. And he says I have the best suggestion. We're going to get a UV cover with like raised print over the title, and Spectress as she leaps across the page. She's going to have a little bit of raised UV coating there on the cover. It's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see it. I really hope we hit it. So that's what we're at for stretch goals right now. And we got 2 covers available. The original Kickstarter cover by Topper Helmers kind of features Sorensen. He's the head of the Moon Crew in in a kind of an urban wasteland, Afghanistan, Iraq, one of those places, and kind of a cool shredded poster of Nexi in the background, making her assassination mission against the Emperor Octavius, the assassination mission that failed. And then the Kickstarter original cover is by Chris Enot that I mentioned earlier, and that features Nexi or Spectress kind of making the leap from her old time in ancient Egypt, where the Romans are invading, into the current era, where she aspires to become a college professor and live in the modern world. So I think those 2 pretty awesome covers. There's a lot of meaning behind both of them, and check them out. I definitely think you should. Any questions? Anybody else that's on? We had a couple people fading in and out here. Let's see here. Kickstarter tiers. The Moon Crew collection is kind of the middle tier. It's got basically all the artwork. It also includes Spectress, which is my first comic book, a black and white 12-page issue, a short issue that features Spectress kind of in the life that she wants to live, the life that she aspires to live in. It's her as a archaeologist, although it's maybe a little bit more exciting than a typical archaeologist. She's on a team of kind of tough guys. The head of the archaeology department there is a retired Gurkha. And all right, maybe we'll get the dogs out here, Jess. Yeah, we'll see what I can do. I'm sure they're scurrying about here somewhere. I'm surprised they're not squeaking a toy right now, demanding attention. But yeah, the preview issue, it's black and white. It's done by Sajad Shaw. He's also really good. He has done a Batman cover on the Deceased line, and he's also done, I believe, a Bloodshot cover. We did 12 pages together. It's a story of Spectress, kind of in her human shape, taking on her human identity and teaming up with these other tough archaeologists from this university, and they go steal back looted artifacts from ISIS. So it's kind of more of a shoot 'em up, maybe even a more Indiana Jones type flavor to it. And in that story, you're also introduced to Domira Dalmores, who is a Caribbean ex-Black Aegis operator who also is a kind of a competitor for a job that Spectress wants, and they kind of have a bit of a disagreement in the comic. And that's, I'm also very proud of that. It's a great short story. It really brings in some of the characters and what Anexi wants to do with her own life. And at the end, there's a little bio for each of the characters. It tells you about where they're from, what they want, and where they're going, and teases Sabanion a little bit at the end. So that's also available digitally and on a number of reward tiers on the Kickstarter. That's a great introduction to Spectress and Sabanion. All right, I think we got a dog request here. It might take me just a few seconds. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. So this is Fritz. Fritz has got some lumps. We're gonna get those removed probably next week. He's gonna go see the doc, get that taken care of. But Fritz helps me write. He inspires me. He's a good little fella. Aren't you, buddy? He's also got a few allergies this time of year. So anyway, he's wondering, he was just napping a little bit. He's probably wondering what he's doing here. But can you look at the camera, Fritzy boy? There we go. So there we go. So this is Fritz. He's one of the many muses in my life. So he hangs out and bothers me when I'm trying to write, but that's okay because he's pretty cool. So let's see, we were talking about Spectress, the preview issue. That's up there on Kickstarter. That's available. Art by Sajad Shaw. I'm also going to probably be throwing up a page of his original inks. And that's going to be difficult to part with because it's my first comic, and he was gracious enough to to give me all the originals for that, so I'd have something at my table when basically that was all I had back in 2016. So so yeah, I'm probably going to throw up page 5, the original inks, the 11 by 17, you know, artist board that they write on, they draw on, and that'll be up there as well. That'll be my last drop reward for the Kickstarter. All right, we've been going about 20 minutes now. I've been yammering on. That's pretty good. Any other questions? Anybody on that has any questions about the story or wants to know a little bit more about Spectress and Sabanion? You know, you can always catch me on, you can send me a message through Kickstarter. You can catch me on Facebook through Instant Messenger. You can send me an email, kurtzauer@gmail.com. That's KURTZAUER. So feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions about Spectress and Sabanion, my the Kickstarter, or what's coming up next. Issue 2 is also already published, and as soon as issue 1 gets as soon as the Kickstarter is complete for issue 1, we're going to move right into, boom, issue number 2. This issue talks about or further shows the escape from containment facility 4, where things get dicey, so to speak. Introduced to a few new characters, and there's quite a bit of mayhem and horribleness in issue number 2. So there's that to look forward to. Issue 3, the script is complete, and it's with Topper right now. He has started doing the layouts for the artwork. It's going to be cool. It's going to talk a lot more about some of the other things, give some background on Containment Facility 4, the other things that are kept. Sabanion's not the only supernatural threat kept in Confac 4. So we learn a little bit more about the establishment of that place and what happens, and a little bit more of the escape, and we meet some more of the human beings, the living human beings that are getting pulled into Spectress's life. So, hey, thank you for coming, and thanks for listening, and I will hopefully see you on Kickstarter. Just go to Kickstarter, search Spectress or Sabanion, and you'll find me. All right, have a good day. We'll see you.